Hello and welcome to video lecture series in sociology. Today we are going to discuss chapter 8 titled as Social Movements from your textbook Social Change and Development in India. For understanding, we have divided this chapter into 6 parts. In the first part, we will discuss about what is a social movement or what is meant by a social movement. In the second part, we will try to discuss about the features of a social movement or what are the characteristics of a movement so that it can be called as a social movement. In the third part of the chapter, we will talk about various types of social movements in contemporary times. In the fourth part, we will talk about various theories of social movements, and in the last 2 sections, we will try to discuss various examples of various types of social movements. Let us begin with understanding what is meant by a social movement. How is it different from social change, and how do social movements bring about social change in society? Imagine decades back, people in 19th century Indian society might have not thought that one day they will be respectable citizens of independent and sovereign India. In the same way, workers all over the factories all over the world might have continued to work, got exploited, and had not got their due share in the process of production. In the same way, women in many parts of the world would have not imagined that they will cast vote one day. In the similar vein, Africans in America had not imagined that they will ever get equal status in American society. But all this has happened in reality. How? The answer is that it has all happened because of the collective efforts and actions of people to fight against the odds in the society. We tend to take our rights for granted and enjoy them as they just happen to exist. But the contemporary nature of reality, the social, political and economic structures have been shaped by struggles and concerted efforts of people. These collective efforts are called as social movements. Social movements have shaped and will continue to shape the world we live in. It is important to acknowledge the struggles in the past made by people. It is only through these struggles that we enjoy many rights today. The social reform movement in the 19th century uprooted many social evils from India. We have already discussed about these in chapter 1 and 2. Nationalist movement led to independence and freedom from the colonial rule. Many countries, in fact in Asia and Africa, had put up struggle against the colonial rule during the middle of the 20th century. The socialist movements, women's movements, civil rights movements in America, anti-apartheid struggle in South Africa have challenged the oppression and authority of the powerful nations, powerful people and their domination and established patterns in society. These struggles have changed the nature of the world in radical ways. These are all instances of social movements. But how do we define a social movement? The encyclopedia defines social movement as a loosely organized but sustained campaign in support of a social goal. It could be the implementation or the prevention of a change in structure or values of society. Although social movements differ in size, they are all essentially collective. That is, they are result of a more or less spontaneous coming together of people whose relationships are not defined by rules and procedures, but who merely share a common outlook or a common goal. Social movements not only change societies, but they are also a source of inspiration for other social movements, and they provide direction for social change in society in general. Like the Indian national movement shaped the making of Constitution of India, which in turn played a major role in bringing about social change in Indian society, that is, ensuring social justice to people. Similarly, social reform movement had challenged and influenced the very basic fabric of Indian society, and it ushered in modernity. A social movement is different from mob behavior. You must understand the difference also. For example, people may burn a bus if the driver has run over somebody. It is also different from a protest. A protest is an action which is usually a short-term reaction to any event or happening. They flare up quickly and die down quickly. So, in order to understand the difference, let us identify the 3 important characteristics that differentiates social movement from other types of collective behavior, namely mob behavior or a protest. What are these 3 characteristics? These are, first, a higher degree of internal organization among the participants in the movement. Number 2, generally a social movement is of a longer duration often spanning over years, but it is also dependent upon the time within which goal or target of the movement has been achieved. And third, it is an attempt to reorganize or restructure society by challenging taken for granted structures in society. Let us discuss some of the important features of social movements in detail. A social movement requires a sustained collective action. These actions are often against the social, economic or political policies of a given state. These can be single issue campaigns or these can be major policies against which people want to protest. You may remember that spontaneous, disorganized protest cannot be called as or seen as a social movement. A social movement has to have a sustained effort carried over a period of time, and it has to be a concerted effort which is organized, even if loosely in nature. So, this brings us to the second important feature of a social movement, that it is a collective action and it must be marked by some degree of organization. As the definition of a social movement suggests, that it is an organized effort over a period of time to promote or resist change in society or any other social movement, as it says. Social movements are organized form of action that continue over a period of time. This means that they are not sporadic in nature. The organization means or includes a clear-cut leader or leadership and a structure, may be institutional in nature, that defines the way members of the movement are related to one another. This institutional structure determines the decision-making authority among the members of the movement. The participants in the social movements also share an objective and a set of ideologies. As social movements attempt to bring about or prevent a change, the movement includes a kind of general agreement or consensus over an idea or an ideology. It may be related to human rights, autonomy of individuals, social equality, social organization or reorganization of society. The members also have an agreement upon the approach and strategies they adopt in order to push their demands. Thus, a social movement is defined on the basis of commonality of purpose, aim, collective action and organization of collective action. But these defining features are not constant. They may change over the course of life of the social movement or may be present in varying degrees in various types of movements. These movements emerge with an objective of bringing about change in society or take an action or influence an issue that affects a large number of people. For instance, fighting for the rights of the tribal people to use the forest. It may also take up the issue of rehabilitation of displaced people and their rights to settlement and compensation. There are many other issues that have been taken up by a number of social movements. Think of some of the examples of social movements. What are their central issues or the issues taken up by these movements? Have you ever been part of any such movement, or do you see that your ideas are directly or indirectly expressed through any of such social movements? It would be an interesting sociological exercise for you. The collective action in the social movement is organized or coordinated effort of a large number of people. It is not just mere an outburst of emotional or irrational response. It is a continuous process unless the objective is achieved. Some scholars call social movement as non-institutional, which means that the movement or the action lies outside the normal acceptable structure, routine arrangements of the state or society. Famous sociologist Anthony Giddens has identified 4 broad areas in which social movements operate in modern societies. These are: number 1, the kind of democratic movements that work for political rights of people in a society. The second are labor movements or workers' movement that work for control of the workplace. The third type is pertaining to the environmental or ecological movements that are concerned with the environmental issues. And lastly, the peace movements that work towards human well-being, peace and harmony in society. So, we can say that while social movements seek to bring about social change, sometimes counter movements arise to defend the already established patterns. There are many examples of counter movements. One such counter movement was the establishment of Dharma Sabha. When Raja Ram Mohan Roy campaigned against the sati and other social evils plaguing Indian society, he formed Brahmo Samaj. As a counter movement, the defenders of sati formed Dharma Samaj and appealed to the British government not to legislate against the sati. In fact, one can see many counter tendencies originating during the social reform movement in India during the early 20th century. What were these counter tendencies? The social reformers started to fight against the caste discrimination, oppression of women. They advocated for education for all, including women, and also took initiatives to remove many of the social evils and superstitions from our society. However, their efforts were met with opposition. When the social reformers demanded education for girls, many people protested that it will change the traditional culture in which girls are brought up, and educating women will be disastrous for society. When social reformers campaigned for widow remarriage, they were seen as tearing the traditional fabric and challenging the social practices. The reformers and their followers were socially boycotted for a long period of time. The same happened in the case when the Dalits or lower caste people enrolled their children in schools for education. The upper caste families stopped sending their children to the schools. Evidence suggests that many peasants' movements have also been brutally suppressed during the colonial era. Such examples of social movements and counter-social movements can be seen as conflict between the forces of continuity, that is those who want to preserve the tradition, and forces of change, that is those who want to change the system. Since these collective forms of action go against the established and entrenched interest and values of the society, the opposition to a social movement or resistance is very natural. But that does not mean that societies do not change at all. The societies do change and changes do happen or occur, but over a long period of time. While holding a protest generally is the most common form of collective action, a social movement also acts in other equally important ways and has other important consequences for the society to bring about changes in the structure and patterns of the society. Apart from protesting in the routine way, the activists or the organizers of a social movement hold meetings to mobilize people around some common issues. These meetings or activities help in developing common or shared understanding among people and on the agenda and the course of action to be taken to pursue that agenda. Members of social movements also work in association with other lobbies, media, NGOs and different actors and factors that have capacity to influence the public opinion. Think of any social movement and try to figure out what kind of change has come about as a consequence of that movement. Over the years, distinct modes of protests have also evolved and are used by people involved in a social movement. You can recall the way Gandhiji adopted new ways such as ahimsa, satyagraha and use of charkha in the freedom movement. Some of the new ways or distinct modes of protest that are common in the present times include candlelight or torchlight processions, wearing black badges or use of black flags, organizing street plays involving theatre groups, songs, slogan campaigns, poetry, distribution of pamphlets, graffiti designing, media campaign including mobilizing people on social networking sites. You can try to collect more information on these new modes of protest in the modern times. Change in nature and structure of society in the era of globalization has also changed the way social movements are organized. New types of social movements and new forms of organization of collective actions are also evolving now. There are fundamentalist movements that are emerging in various parts of the world as a reaction to social and cultural changes sweeping across the globe as a result of process of globalization. We will try to learn more about these various types of social movements in the subsequent discussions on this chapter. To conclude, let's summarize what we discussed in this lecture class. We began by understanding what is a social movement. We identified the definition of social movement and various features of a social movement. We also discussed that how social movements bring about social change in society and various situations in which movements can be decisive in nature. In the next part of this chapter, we will discuss about how social movements bring about social change, and apart from the features of social movements that we discuss in greater detail, what are the various types of social movements. Till then, you can enjoy reading this part of the chapter.